Hello, my name is John Henry Avery. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I am Pow's and Kim's and Mr. Mung and Neong's friend. And I told you last year that it had been 50 years since I really studied the Bible in any depth. I was at Oral Roberts University in my second year, and I had changed my major from music to English Bible, so I didn't have to study the Greek and Hebrew. But I got sidetracked when I went home after that second semester, and my friends were talking to me about philosophy. And I had run across that when I was studying the New Testament, because there is a relationship between the New Testament and the philosophers at that time. So I thought I wanted to study philosophy. And I left the Bible behind, not completely, but I studied philosophy for about 10 years. And then I wanted to study theology, and I thought theology meant the Bible because I had been to Oral Roberts University. But when I went to the Methodist Seminary in Denver, Colorado, theology for the PhD was really a philosophical study. And I was a little disappointed. But I kept studying philosophy, and 10 years later, I finished the PhD. And that's, of course, a long story. But then I taught around the country philosophy and a little religion here in Lexington. Then I retired. And what I've been doing during my retirement, now that I'm 70 years old, is I've gone back 50 years and started to explore the life that I left behind. So I finished reading the Bible in English just last week. I think I was like most Christians. I really enjoyed the New Testament, except for Acts and Revelation. That was a little hard to understand. That's where I left off. And I thought the Old Testament was old, and I didn't really relate to it. So when I started reading the Bible again after Pow encouraged me to start reading the Bible and not read so much philosophy, I started with Acts and Revelation, finished that. And of course, I'd read Proverbs and Ecclesiastes because that's very philosophical, and Job, and some of Genesis, especially the beginning that the young people did today. But I hadn't really finished it all. So I read it all and really enjoyed the study of the Hebrew Bible. And so I want to encourage you who maybe think like I did, that the Old Testament isn't all that interesting compared to the New Testament. It really is. Because the New Testament, all the people in the New Testament were Jewish, or most of them. They had some converts that were there and probably wrote some of the letters, but they were Jewish, and the Christian religion was developed out of the Jewish religion. So there's a deep connection between the two. And so here I am looking at a life that I left behind 50 years ago. And I don't know where it's going to lead. And I'm retired. I don't want any leadership positions anywhere or anything like that. I just want to go more deeply into the Bible. And Pow's wife, Kim, said that I have a lot to learn. And I agree with her, especially since what really matters to me is the wisdom and knowledge that is found in God through Christ, that it is mentioned in Colossians, because that Colossians 2 and 3 is what got me to decide on a major. I was undeclared that second semester, my sophomore year, when I left music. And I decided I wanted to major in the English Bible because of Colossians 2 and 3. Now, I can't quote it exactly, but it's something like this. All the mysteries of God are hidden in Christ himself, in which are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. And all of my pursuit in philosophy was of wisdom. Those of you who know the meaning of the word philosophy, philosophy is the pursuit of wisdom. And all the treasures of wisdom, according to Colossians, is found in Christ. And Christ is the mystery of God. And I've been pursuing God, I think, for 50 years. And my relationship is a little off and on, if I can say that. For 50 years, it's like a long marriage where we have some problems, and then we get back together again, things are better, and then they go bad for a while. And I'm not sure that I'm ever going to really totally resolve that, because, as you know, Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and Israel means wrestling with God. And I think that's what I've been doing all these years, and I think I will continue to wrestle with God. And there won't really be a final day when I say, hey, I know what the wisdom of God is in Christ, and put it into words. I think I just have to keep going and thinking and living, but I know that the wisdom of God has something to do with the innocence of children and the way they look at life. They're so free and playful and accepting. I'm not saying that they're always good, but they see the world for the first time, and I know that's part of the wisdom of God. And the final thing I want to say about the wisdom of God at this point in time is I do think Christ was a servant and very humble. And the wisdom of God has something to do with humility and service. And I'm trying to be of service in my own way in my small community with POW and your community. That doesn't mean I want to serve on any committees or anything, but I want to be a servant. Thank you.